So, to deliver the dream of one-to-one marketing, there are three challenges that I think we need to take into account. The first challenge is probably quite obvious and one which is changing very quickly today, and that's around the technology. In the early 2000s, when I was working for an ad tech company offering behavioral advertising solutions, one of the things that we found very quickly was that the machines were simply too slow to be able to deliver in real time the right message to the right person at the right time. The second challenge is around how people deal with the amount of data that's being thrown up. We've talked about the fact that the technology finds it difficult to keep pace with those levels of data and make decisions, and although the technology is getting faster and faster, the other component in the mix is how the humans deal with it. The human marketer, for example, deals with it. And the first thing there is really about time and resource. Because if the numbers of paths that a consumer can take in their decision to purchase have moved from being very linear and very limited in scope, if we're moving into the digital world, where actually what we've done is to create this hyperlinked version of the truth, that means that your customer journey can take almost any path, which means that as a marketer, you have to be able to conceptualize what steps your customer might take. The third challenge is, if there are so many different ways, so many different paths that your customer can go down, and so many different circumstances that you need to prepare materials for, the third challenge is actually having the time and resource available to be able to deliver the content so that you can truly personalize what you're trying to say. This is really particularly important because it means that as marketers, the human touch is never going to go away. We're still a long, long way away from a situation where machines, computers, can start doing the creative work that remain the domain of the human brain, the creative brain. If we try and wait until we've created the perfect one-to-one schedule before we roll anything out, we'll probably never get there. So the approach that I'm always going to recommend is that we start in a step-by-step iterative process. So you take what is a rules-based, somewhat segmented approach to marketing, and you start to introduce specific functions, specific parts of the customer journey that become truly personalized, and then you layer them one on top of the other. So you get to a point where you've built up a sea of assets over here of the things that you could say depending on where somebody is in their journey, with over here the recognition of the times when it's appropriate to put those together. And you layer those on top of more broad marketing approaches, and you get closer and closer and closer to your marketing nirvana of one-to-one. To do that, we need to overcome the problems of technology and whether or not that's sufficiently sophisticated to deliver stuff in real time. We've talked about the problems of the human ability to conceptualize all of the difficulties and the journeys that are going to come through and find answers to those, and the amount of time and resource that's going to be required to bring those things to life so you've got enough of a content base to make that happen. The good news is that the judicious combination of human and artificial intelligence make that something which we can really begin to see being possible today and tomorrow at vast scale to deliver true relevance and true value for money from your marketing expenditure. Thank you very much.